done too, and it was earned. It was something you could kind of put a feather in your cap, so to speak, and learn from, grow from, and utilize in the coming weeks, of course.
Stay up. Grab it. Hold on.
Well, here they are getting set for another of those. We talked about it a little bit ago. Battles. The two universities from right here inside the Commonwealth of Virginia. For ACC pride and bragging rights.
Cedeno not wasting any time, getting right to an explosive double leg and getting right to it. And here you'll see him put on his ride.
Gerardi, as you said, placed on the defensive right away with Cedeno. Cedeno, remember, it was a 5-0 decision for Cedeno over North Carolina's Clark. So a commanding performance the last we saw him.
Gerardi wrestled super tough in his own right, including his frontside match against Matthews from Pitt. That guy's one of the best in the country, and of course the ACC, and Gerardi wrestled him to the wire. Was in a scramble to be in to win it towards the end of that match. So both these guys maybe having coming out parties, really finding themselves and doing their best wrestling at the conference championships, and that's something nice to see.
8-2 the decision for Gerardi over Rowland in order to work his way into this spot. And again, that was after that 1-0 decision when they met earlier today. Another one of those scenarios in which they get to go right back at it again. 2-0, the Cedeno lead here. Working away was Gerardi. And now it looks like we're going to have a stoppage as the training staff needs to see to Cedeno momentarily. So a point having been notched by Gerardi in that last sequence, making it 2-1 Cedeno. As we get the brief pause here. I know the respect level you have for the gentlemen who carry those bags, Ty.
Yeah, you end up hating them a little bit though when they're shoving stuff up your nose and putting gauze all over your face though, or Band-Aids around your head like we saw with Keyshawn Clark too.
Making it possible to continue in these moments though, and they go right back at it with Cedeno's 2-1 advantage, just under 2 in this round remaining.
And just 15 seconds under that riding time too, as we've seen him be so tough on top.
This is that 141-pound classification in which both these individuals already know they're in NCAA. So you're just right now performing to work your way onto the podium, and more than that, to win that Virginia Tech bragging right that's on the line. And look at these two go toe-to-toe.
That was some beautiful wrestling. Got head inside, and Gerardi kind of sat that corner a little bit, and I'm sure I'll reiterate these points when we take a look at the replay, but that was an incredible, persistent finish for Cedeno.
Ups his advantage to 4-1. Walk us through it.
As you see him, he kind of had that high crotch to start with, but as Gerardi came up and he was fighting to get his hands down his waist, Cedeno just is able to pull those legs in and drive Gerardi down towards the mat. Beautiful finish. Nice transition wrestling for both guys, defensively and offensively.
There you see Gerardi being tended to, the New Jersey native. Cedeno finding himself out front, coming off a season a year ago where he didn't see action in dual matches, but put together a 6-1 record, building upon that this go round. Been really good in the bonus point matches along the way. A couple of pins, major decisions come to mind during his time in key moments just like this, and he finds himself out front 4-1 as they go back to action.
It's good to see we got a fair fight now too. Both guys have nose plugs in the right nostril. I don't know if it's going to come into play necessarily, but of note.
Yeah, it provides the balance you want in a match like this with so much on the line.
They're both cut off from that much more oxygen.
Something everybody's become accustomed to over the last period of time, right? You see,
That's no joke.
4-2. I mean, if anything, this is a group generation maybe more equipped, a group of wrestlers more equipped than ever before to handle the limited intake. We'll see how they handle this prime time moment. How about that turn away right there by Cedeno?
Yeah, everybody talks trash about the millennials, but, you know.
You're going to stick up for them right here, right now.
Here we are.
Gerardi, Cedeno, Virginia Tech, ACC third place on the line. Closing seconds of the round.
That was an eventful first period, too. Gerardi doing a good job, though, getting both of those escapes, because if he gets ridden out this period, now it's 4-3, and, of course, with that riding time, that margin's a lot more difficult to come back from, but seasoned in his own right, finding his escapes, moving in this next period with a thinner margin than if he didn't.
Yeah, an extended period as we had a couple of stoppages for the training staff to do their good work for these two, and now it's going to be Cedeno on top with that 4-2 lead. Now the fans, you can hear getting into the action taking place. Championship Sunday works its way on through the consolation rounds. A reminder, it's 7 p.m. We'll have the championship matches beginning for you on the ACC network. You heard the celebration is 133 with NC State's direction. As the Wolfpack weren't able to get the job done, work his way into a third place finish again at 133 weight classification, one in which there are 5 qualifiers. So the ACC set to be well represented in that classification for sure.
Cedeno here doing a good job extending his ride time lead, getting that up to be a little bit formidable of a challenge for Gerardi to get down at the end of this period and the end of the third, potentially locking it in if he continues to do so.
Another classification worth mentioning that Matthews of Pitt, Jack of North Carolina State, the two that find themselves in the driver's seat for a little bit later tonight. Third place being settled between the two you're witnessing right now. You called it, that riding time advantage there as well. So separation of 3 in essence. It holds true for Cedeno.
Really doing an awesome job, too, just technically, too. If you're in high school watching how to ride a guy out in a tough situation, Cedeno's a good guy to watch. Did an awesome job of when Gerardi would come up, dropping down a leg. When he was on a leg, being able to come up to the body. And, of course, now Gerardi back onto his feet, or his knees, I should say, but with his 1-point escape.
Well, and remember, it was Gerardi 1-0. A decision secured late when these two met. 4-5 battle on the top side of the bracket earlier today. So trying to flip the script is Cedeno all of a sudden. Got that ride time point and a little bit of breathing room. So it's still up for grabs.
Gerardi with the shot there, trying to get his hands locked, head down a little bit. Now he's working up out of this front headlock position. Wonder if Cedeno puts the brakes on a little bit, or if he keeps up his offensive endeavors. So he looked good on his offense. He was getting to his finishes quick. Now he's on his counter offense as Gerardi takes another shot, trying to get his hands locked on the leg.
Gerardi having had success, as we said earlier today, as well as earlier in the year in the battles between these two. 6-2 the decision against Dylan Cedeno that go round. And sometimes hard, that third go round in a given season tie, proving the case right now, although this one very tight as we come down the stretch.
So Gerardi says he wants it up on his feet. That makes it 6-3, technically 7-3 with the riding time considered. That is now locked in.
Something's got to materialize pretty quickly for Gerardi here now.
Now you'll look to see Gerardi continue to try and get his hands locked on the leg and get through the head hands of Cedeno. Good reaction there. More faking, more moving.
How has your mentality changed in these last several minutes if you are Gerardi here?
Hey, you need to have a sense of urgency. It's time to score. I mean, he down and hasn't had too many opportunities in on this guy's leg. But now you see him wrestling through, driving up, using his determination. He's got that leg locked out. I think he's going to find 2 points here if he continues wrestling that single leg. He needs to get up off the mat. You see
Cedeno's for Gerardi. You said it. And if he can secure those two, would make the riding time to separation with just under a minute to go.
A little frustrated with the fact that he stayed down on his knee. Now when he does come up to his feet, Cedeno wisely jumps back underneath him. But that's looking like 2 points for Mr. Gerardi here.
Cedeno with the riding time advantage, trying to hang on.
And we see the brick come out. Drama ensues. Now they award the 2 points, but I think we'll be going back over the majority of this.
That continuation finish and now the review as that challenge brick is tossed. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, obviously Gerardi's in a peculiar spot where he looks like he might be in danger, but if you think about it, he's kind of technically on top with almost a leg in, so that makes it look like he's kind of in. UVA's challenging whether or not Cedeno was getting back points while Gerardi was on his back there, and I think Virginia Tech's going to be wanting basically the opposite, saying that we had 2 points.
I thought that might not have necessarily been the brick we expected initially work its way in there. And 5-5 where things are. In essence, 6-5 as Cedeno still owns that riding time advantage. Picked up the escape to make it 6-5.
Oh, Gerardi backing on another leg. Cedeno doing a good job passing that ankle. Gerardi's, see, this probably gets stopped for potentially dangerous. Yeah, that was a rare little position there. Only 5 seconds left, though. That'll be the last flurry of this match.
Got to be one quick lunge here. There is nothing there. The riding time point was available if needed, but 6-5 prior to lock it in at 7-5. Third place. Got to go to Cedeno, who battles back through the consolation side of the bracket to earn a little hardware of his own. And again, both of those NCAA qualifiers, as this was a 4-bid weight classification.
And that comes back to our conversation about what adjustments did you make. I think that one for Cedeno, when he went back to his corner after his first round loss to Gerardi, his coaches were probably talking to him like, hey, get to your offense. And he did. He got to 2 beautiful scores, and those alongside his